All right, so you've been on the hunt looking for vending machine locations for however many days, weeks, months, maybe even years, and you finally find a location. You finally find a place where someone tells you, yes, you can put your vending machine in my office. Congratulations and good luck going forward. But how do you know if you've asked the right questions? This one for all of y'all and y'all and y'all and y'all and y'all and y'all. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Vince Dunlap, owner-operator, Princeton Rand Vending Services, and today I'm going to give you about 7 or 8 questions that you need to ask before you place a vending machine at someone's location or office or apartment, gym, whatnot, okay? But before I do, I'm going to do something that I typically don't do in my videos, and that is I am going to ask you to take 2 seconds to subscribe, like, or follow my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, wherever you're watching this at, okay? Now, I typically don't ask that because I want to grow this page organically. However, I'm trying to be a lot more intentional now, and I know there are people out there who they probably will, they just haven't thought to do so, and being told to do so or asked to do so will motivate them to do so. So I'm trying to get 1,000 subs as quick as possible, and if you subscribe to my channel or like my page, I will greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that, okay? Now, let's get on to the video. Okay, so like I say, you've been granted access to someone's location to put your vending machines. The first question that you should ask before moving forward is, who's in charge? Do you have the authority to allow me to place my vending machine in this location? The last thing that you want happen is to hear somebody say, yes, you can put your vending machine here. And then you go through all the hoopla of securing a vending machine and getting it moved from one place to another. And then you get there and somebody else is like, no, not on my watch. That's not happening. And I've witnessed this personally, okay? So whenever you get permission from whoever, make sure you ask that person, do you have the authority to allow me to place a vending machine here? Make sure that they explicitly tell you so. And that takes me to number 2, your lease terms or a location agreement, whatever you want to call it, okay? Once you've gotten permission to place your vending machines in somebody's location, the next thing that you want to do, you want to get them to sign an agreement basically saying that you have express authorization to do so. And in that location agreement needs to be all the responsibilities between you and the person or the office or the entity allowing you to do so. For the most part, when it comes to my location agreements, there's nothing that they have to do except allow me the space to place my vending machines, put money in it, take snacks out, and just promise you won't damage it. I do everything else. I do the maintenance, I do the restocking, I make sure that the money is good, I do everything. All I need from you is your permission. I need to know where, and I just need you guys to put money in it, take products out, and just don't damage my machines. That's essentially it. Now, because you're talking lease terms, the next thing that possibly can come up would be commission. At some point, commission will be discussed. There's a couple of ways that you can address this, okay? Typically speaking, we advise you guys not to bring it up. However, if you want to bring it up and say, hey, do you guys expect me to pay any commission? Because there are some entities out there that they'll say, no, of course not. We just want you guys to provide the service. This is for the employees. I've been in situations where I've seen people think that they were supposed to pay us and whatnot. So the commission conversation can get a little sketch. So whatever if you're not comfortable having that conversation, then don't bring it up. Allow them to bring it up. And if they do bring up the commission, then there's a couple of ways that you can negotiate commission. I won't get into that on this one. I'll do another video for that. But if you're not comfortable with discussing commission, especially being newer, let them bring that up and then you guys go from there, okay? Going back to the location agreement, another thing that you will want to address will be competition. Are there other vending machines on site? And if not, will there be others in the future? Now, when it comes to my location agreement, I have a no compete clause in my location agreement, basically telling the entity that like, hey, once we go into contract, you guys are not allowed to allow anybody else to come in here for obvious reasons. And just a general rule of thumb, if I go to a location and they already have vending machines there, I won't even ask if they need more services, unless it's something like a school, because you can never have enough vending machines on the school campus. But typically speaking, if I see vending machines set up already, I won't even ask about them. The only way I will is if one of the employees comes up to me and say, hey, we have vending machine services, but we're not happy with the services. If you promise better, then like, hey, yeah, we would love to have your services. But if I see machines on location already, I won't even ask. So try to get a non-compete clause in your location agreement before you set up shop, all right? Another question that you should ask is, what hours will this entity operate, okay? Obviously, the more that they're open, the better, because that means more possibility of more hands getting on your machines, okay? Depending on how much money you're looking to make every month, that will dictate whether or not it's okay for you to push forward with placing machines there. If you have a location that's only open Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 to 4 p.m., that might not work for you. That might work for others, but it might not work for you, okay? Generally speaking, we're in the business of making money, so the more that they're open, the better. And when it comes to hours of operation, that will lead you into foot traffic. How many people will have accessibility to this location, to this machine? Now, depending on the type of location that you have, that also can go into a couple of different directions, okay? Because if you set up shop at a school, so to speak, and if they want you to put the machine in the teacher's lounge, well, guess what? Now the entire student body doesn't have access to your vending machines. So maybe try to negotiate a point to where you can put your vending machines out in the open to where everybody has access to it or not, okay? I once had a vending machine location inside of a mall. However, the machine itself was inside the office of one of the department stores. And when we initially took over, that particular office had about 20 workers there. But by the time we took our machine from there, they only had like 7 or 8 workers. And it just wasn't worth it, okay? So how many people will have access to the machine is a very good question as well. Once you've gotten permission to put your vending machine at a location, you need to go to the exact location where they intend on you laying your vending machines. And the reason for that is because you don't want to bring a machine that is too small, that is too tall, that is too wide, that is too deep for whatever location that you're going to get, okay? So whenever they say yes, make sure you measure everything, because I've seen people get access to a location, but then when they bring their machine is too tall and their machine can't fit through the door. It's too wide, and they had to take their machine to go home and find something else. So whenever you get access, whenever you get permission, make sure that you measure the width of the door, the height of the door, and the width of the location where you're going to be putting your vending machine at, okay, just to make sure that everything fits. Another question that you need to ask would be, what type of clientele will be using those vending machines, okay? If you're at a school and you put the vending machines out for everybody to touch, you know you're going to be dealing with kids. But I have a location where everyone who touches my machine is over the age of 35, 40. So depending on the clientele will actually dictate what type of products that you put in the vending machine, okay? So this is a great time when it actually is okay to talk about race, okay? Because if you got a group of older white people, the products that they want will be a lot different than a group of younger black kids, okay? So you can talk about race and you can talk about gender in this situation, because that will dictate what type of products you put in your machine. And then lastly, one thing that you can do is take a survey from the people who will be using your machine the most and ask them what type of products do they want. If you get an older client base, you might be putting in a lot of canned sodas. If you get a younger base, you may be putting in a lot of Takis, a lot of flaming hot foods, a lot of soda, stuff like that. So once again, going back to the previous point, the type of people who you will be serving will dictate what type of products that you put in your machines. One of the last questions that I will advise you ask when you get a new location, ask them if they have had any experiences with previous operators before. And that response will kind of let you know what type of environment that you're walking into. If they've never had vending machine operators on site, cool beans, you're starting at zero. It's on you to make your reputation for yourself, okay? But if you find a location and they had a previous operator and that operator didn't do them justice because their products was always expired, the machine was always taking money, they never restocked, okay, you're starting off at -1. So you got to really be on your P's and Q's, especially those first couple of months, okay? Because if you come in there half-stepping, they're going to tell you to take your ball and go home, okay? So just ask them if they've had any previous experiences and if there's anything that they're looking for that you don't do over again to make sure that it's a smooth process, all right? And I'll close this out by saying that when it comes to getting new locations, for the most part, you're not going to get too much resistance when it comes to setting up your locations once you get permission, okay? For the most part, managers understand that if their employees have quick access to snacks and drinks, that productivity will continue to rise. So once you get permission and once you sign that paperwork, it's really on you to make it or break it, okay? So again, keep in mind that we're in this business to make money, and as long as you do what you're supposed to do, like, it's only up. So those are just a couple of questions that you need to be asking whenever you get permission to set up a vending machine, just to mitigate any sort of heartache, all right? So I hope that helped you guys. If you got any more questions, as always, feel free to drop a comment below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video, okay? This one for all of y'all.